Good afternoon, Floss Tube. It's Julie with Reflections, Framing, and Stitching. Today is Monday. It is the 23rd of August. I almost said October, but it's August. And this is chart of the day, chart of the week. I keep flip-flopping between the two. I don't know what I don't know. It's the chart of the something, number 113. Welcome. I want to welcome you guys to Julie's School of Procrastination. Today has been one of those days where I got up with one intention and have totally blown it away. And here we are. It's after 3 o'clock in the afternoon. By the time I finish this, it will be later, and I will not get to what I had originally intended to do. So, I started the day going to the doctor. I had a follow-up appointment and took care of that. Dan went with me, and then we went to the tile store to look at tile to see if we found anything that we liked better than what we had sort of kind of almost decided on, which we did. So we have the floor tile, we bought the shower tile, and the tile for the surround now. Now we just need a tile person. The painting in the bathroom is 75% done. Dan has one full coat on, one wall has 2 coats. All the trim is done. So progress is being made. It almost looks like a bathroom without any kind of plumbing stuff in it though. So I think we can call the electrician back once the painting is finished, and so the electrical work can all be done. And then we just need the tile guy to come. So we had 2 appointments last week. One showed up, one did not. He said he'd call us this week. Dan called him the day after he was supposed to show, and he gave us the usual song and dance. Oh, something came up. I'll call you next week. I don't anticipate that he will probably give us a call. So people, just be honest and say, I don't want the job. Please, just be honest. So that's where we are with the bathroom. And let's see. I had a couple of people. Well, let's address the question of the day from last week, which was had to do with the great Floss business card exchange. I don't know how exactly they're referring to it as, but the business cards that are being made into floss tags, and that people are exchanging them. And my question was whether any of you were participating, and most of you are not. Most of you think it's a wonderful idea, but you are not interested in exchanging. Some of you have ordered cards but aren't going to exchange. Some of you think it's a cute idea but don't plan to order any, which kind of surprised me. But I only had 21 comments, so that wasn't a large group. So, but thank you for responding to that question. I had a couple of comments from a couple of ladies requesting that I once in a while choose a larger project for my chart of the day / week. And you know, it's just kind of hard to do a larger project. I like to try and choose things that I at least have the stuff and don't have to make a lot of substitutions, and that I have fabric that's big enough, which larger projects take larger amounts of fabric, which is harder to come by. I will try to do better and throw one in every once in a while. So I've got a little bit larger project this time, but I had to dig through my own stash to get half the floss. So and that's one of the reasons why I tend to do smaller is it's just a little bit easier to gather the supplies. But I will keep that in mind, and thank you for your comment. Let's see. How have I procrastinated today? So I started my day at the doctor. Then we went to the tile store. Then we came home, and I was going to change my clothes because I need to clean my bedroom. That was my plan for the day, was to clean the bedroom now that Dan says he's done making dust. There's probably an inch of dust, sheetrock dust, sawdust, just construction debris in my bedroom. I moved out because it just got too dirty, so I'm in the guest room. But so my plan was to take today and clean it, try and get some of the dust out of it, so it's not so disgusting. I mean, the whole entire house is covered with dust. I'm going to have to take it room by room and clean it. But the bedroom is by far the worst, and I would like to get back in there. So I was going to clean it today, but then I remembered I had a doctor appointment, and then we went, since we were most of the way out there, we went to the tile store, which I'm glad we did because we found tile that we liked better. And then I'm probably repeating myself a few times here. Please forgive me. Then we got home, and I was going to change my clothes because you don't really want to wear black when you're, messing with all that dust. It would end up being dirty. So I was just going to throw on some old sweatpants and a t-shirt and start cleaning. And then the phone rang, and it was Abby. And she and Reese were in town for Reese's 18-month checkup. And she said Reese needed lunch, and could she bring her over here to have lunch before they hit the road to go home? And I said, well, of course, you can come and have lunch. I'll put off cleaning. So that's what they did. They showed up about 11:30, and we fed Reese some lunch, and then Reese and I watched some videos. She's very much into musical videos, so like Frozen and some Sesame Street videos. So we sat in the chair and watched videos for a while, and then they left, and by that time it was kind of like, well, I should probably eat something before I go upstairs and work. So I had some cheese and summer sausage and was kind of reading, and time tends to get away from me when I'm reading, so I wasted some time there. And then I stood up when I realized what time it was, and I'm like, oh, I need to get moving. And then I remembered I was going to make a video. But I also remembered on Saturday I had a visitation from Terry and Jamie from Cornhusker State Stitchers, and I promised them I haven't been watching much Floss Tube. I know, I just haven't. But I told them I was going to watch their video, so I'm like, well, I need to watch their video before I make my video, so that they know I've watched it. And so I did that. And by the time I finished that, it's like, well, I need to make my video, which I was going to make one yesterday, but we had the kids all over for stuffed hamburgers yesterday, so I did not get a video made yesterday. So I knew I had to make one today, and so here we are. I'm making the video, and by the time I'm done with this, it'll be like close to 4 o'clock, and what's the point at that? Dan will be home at 5, and then we'll have dinner, and I will get nothing done. So yes, I have procrastinated the day away and have not done anything I was supposed to do. There you have it. That's how you do it. So let's get on to today's chart, which is a sampler from Scarlet House called Sarah Jackson. I've been meaning to do this one, but I wanted to wait until I had the fabric that was called for because I had had it on order, and that arrived last week. So that's why we're choosing this one. That and someone wanted, a couple ladies wanted me to choose something larger, which this is a little bit larger. It's not huge, but it is a little bit larger. The stitch count is 140 by 190. The design size when stitched on the called for 36 count is 7 3/4 by 10 1/2. It calls for Classic Colorworks, but she does give a DMC conversion, although there is one color that does not have a match. So the called for color is Dolphin, 36 count Dolphin from Weeks Dye Works. And it is a dark fabric. It is a beautiful fabric, but it is dark. It's more on the, it's a blue-green color. I absolutely love it. And this is what the floss looks like. If I can get it spread out enough so you can see all the wee little colors. There. I think that's showing most of them. Okay. So that's what the colors look like on the called for. But I happen to know that a lot of people, A, don't like dark colored fabric, and B, don't like the Weeks Dye Works base. Although this isn't quite as bad as some I've seen. Probably because there's a lot of dye in this, so it's kind of filling up the holes. It's not quite as loosey-goosey. But for those of you who don't like dark or weeks, I have a couple options. Nothing that's real similar to this, but I did try and find something somewhat similar. I did find when I was playing with the colors and different fabric colors, I did find that because I was trying to find something lighter for those of you who don't like dark, but I did find I like these particular colors best on a darker fabric. So while I have somewhat lighter fabrics, they're still on the more saturated side of things. So the first one I'm going to show you is 40 count eucalyptus from, it'll come to me, Fox and Rabbit. See, I knew it would come to me, which is in the same family as the Dolphin. But it is lighter, but I only have it in 40 count. So I think that would be very pretty also. And I also pulled 28 count Dusk Lugana, which is darker than the Dolphin, but still kind of gives the same look as what the Dolphin does. The colors will still show. There. So I thought that was really pretty. But it's dark, but it's 28 count, and it's an even weave. So that might help some of you out. Another fabric that I found that I liked is called Driftwood. It's a 32 count. It's linen. It's color and cotton. It's a, if I had to describe it, I'd say it's a gray. It's going to look lighter on this video, but it is a gray that is, I'd say, medium to medium dark. But I think the colors look pretty good on that. And then the other color that I found that I liked is 28 count Sage Jobelan. And it's a brown sage, not a green sage. And I think the colors would be pretty on there also. And that's everything I found that I liked. And I went through quite a bit of fabric to scope those out. So just for some reason these colors look better on a darker hue. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it met the criteria for larger. And like I said, I will try and do a larger piece. I'm having troubles. How can I put this delicately? I don't want to offend anybody. I haven't been finding a whole lot to order into the shop lately. Nothing is really appealing to me. I'm not getting any requests for anything. So it's a little harder to find larger projects right now. So I might have to do some oldies but goodies kind of thing to fulfill that particular request of larger, because there just hasn't been a whole lot that that I feel that I will need to order for the shop right now. So I'll do my best. I did want to show you, I finished my, I don't know if all of you watch my regular videos and not just these videos, but I thought I brought it over, but apparently I didn't. I was stitching the zombie frog from the 2021 Just Cross Stitch magazine, and I got it done, like as in not finished, but the stitching aspect of things is finished. So there's my finished zombie frog. Isn't he adorable? Absolutely adorable. This is 40 count Rhiannon, I believe. It's Rhiannon for sure. And then it's 40 count, yeah. Rhiannon is a hand dyed by Stephanie color. It's a beautiful color. And I did add a few overdyed to the color palette. It was all DMC, but I added some overdyes, and then this border here, this tree border, I think they're trees, was supposed to be two different colors, but I just used an overdyed chart. Oh gosh, I don't even remember. If you want to know, I can put it in the comments. I didn't feel like, because it was just like a couple stitches here and there with the secondary color, and I didn't want to mess with that, so I just picked an overdyed that I liked and finished it up that way. So that's my froggy. I'm probably just going to make a little pillow for him and call it good. But I like him. And I was going to try and make just a regular video to show what I've been working on, but that didn't happen, and I really haven't been working on a lot. Last week I didn't stitch a whole lot. Was it last week? No, the week before I didn't stitch a whole lot because I was getting things ready for the fair. I don't have the results yet. I'm sure that they'll be posting that soon. But most of my time was spent finishing up my frog. And there were a couple days I didn't stitch at all. And then I've kind of just bopped around and done just a little here and there on a couple other things. I'm going to cough, so I need to get a drink. It's ragweed season. So, third time's the charm, hopefully. I had a coughing fit. Then I recorded a new ending, and then I realized that I had cut out the question of the day from last week, like what you guys said. So I thought, well, I better stick this in there. So we're going to try it again. Anyway, so the question that I asked in last week's video concerned the business cards, the great business card swap. People were making business cards, like ordering through Vistaprint, putting a picture on one side and DMC on the front side, and exchanging them. It was Michelle from Mama Loves You GB. It was her idea, and it seemed to cause this big sensation. So I was just curious as to whether any of you were going to participate in that swap. I did order cards. I actually made 2 different versions. I did one with DMC and overdyes, so like Weeks, Dye Works, Gentle Arts, Classic Colorworks. Probably I wouldn't use it so much for the Weeks and the Classic because they have decent cards on them. No, the Gentle Arts and the, what did I say? I wouldn't use them for the Gentle Arts and the Classic Colorworks because they have decent size cards on them. And they're individual strands. Weeks is one long strand, and it's got those little dinky cards. And I usually take them off the little dinky cards and I snip it in half. So I might use it for that. So I made 2 versions. I did the DMC and the overdyes, and then I did one for some silks because NPI and Avera Soie, they don't come on a card. They just have a little loop tied on them, and I just would prefer them on a card for even for storage purposes. When I'm using them, they're in baggies, and because I'm lazy and I just want to stuff my floss back in there. But the card is still with it. So I'll probably do that for those. But I did put 2 different pictures on them. I did my red and black sampler on one, and then I have the antique sampler that I bought a couple years ago. I took a picture of that and put it on the other. I don't think I'm probably going to swap with anyone just because mine are going to be different from everybody else's. But I did think it was a brilliant idea. So I asked if any of you were participating. The general consensus was great idea, but no, I'm not participating. So I'm sorry to hear that you're not participating. But I have no room to speak since I'm not participating so much either. And then, so this week's question, this day, week question of the day or week, whatever, has to do with the size of pieces that you stitch, based on just because people had asked me to do larger. I just kind of wanted to see use your words, Julie, what your thoughts are. What do you stitch? Do you stitch larger pieces? Do you stitch smaller pieces? Do you do a mix of pieces? I'm a mostly, if you put me in a room with a whole bunch of charts, I usually gravitate towards the large ones. I do like the smaller ones. I just seem to always want to start the large ones. I don't know why, but that's me. I have one customer, Darlene. She doesn't do anything over 150 by 150, I think is what her criteria are. Do you limit yourself in size? Just curious what my audience prefers, stitches, all those words. So yeah, that's the question for this week /day. day/week, whatever. Anyway, with that, since I have now procrastinated, it is now 4:20. I'm not going to get any cleaning done. I'm going to go over and maybe stitch a little bit. Maybe. We'll see. Anyway, you have a great week and take care of yourselves and get a lot of stitching done, because I'm not. So you have to pick up the slack. So take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye.